Hi everyone! So here at Our Turn, as much as we're dedicated to sharing the youth perspective, we want to try to get an international perspective as much as possible as well. So for this episode, we're going to go all the way to Holland via Skype to talk to our friend Brit to learn more about Holland's sex education program. So let's get to it. Hi Brit!
Hey!
How are you?
I'm really good, thank you.
Alright, so Holland's sex education program has been in the news a lot because they start their sexuality education program, as they refer to it, as young as kindergarten. So tell me about that.
When we're really young, let's just put it this way, they don't shy away from questions about sexuality or, I think questions about the actual sex come later than kindergarten, but anything about, I don't know, why does he have a penis and I don't, that kind of questions.
Right.
Parents and also kindergarten teachers, they just answer everything you ask them.
I read that it's all about having open and honest conversations, not just about sex, but gender identities and positive relationships. So, tell me more about that.
That comes also, when you grow up, that sort of information you get, more and more, because I think kindergarten, that's when it starts, but it's not when you get all the information, because you're just not, interested in any of that. But if you have questions, of course, they're answered. But our first actual sex education comes when we're 12, 11 years old. So at elementary school, and that's when you get structured classes about how everything works. When you really start to learn about sex and also how sexual relationships should be. So what's a healthy relationship and how can you practice safe sex, that kind of stuff. That's what you get in the last 2 years of elementary school.
So would you say that Holland's program has a much more positive approach? Because here things are kind of taboo and we don't, if you've seen the Mean Girls clip, it's pretty telling of the program. Don't have sex or you will die. So
yeah.
What would you think?
I think the message on sex here is really positive. Basically what they tell you in high school, because in high school sex education is mandatory by law. Basically what they tell you is how to practice safe sex, how to have healthy, equal sexual relationships, and anything about that. The message is to have sex, but do it safely and do it when you want to do it, not against your will or whatever, or when it's not, when it doesn't feel right. So that's what they tell you, and I think the underlying thought about that is that when you give enough information about how it should be and how you could do it, then young people, but also when you grow older, you will think more responsibly about how you want your sex life to be and how you should do it. So I think it really helps giving a positive image about sex.
Wow,
it's not
great.
Something you have to shy away from or you will die.
Right, yeah. No, and I would have to say that statistics show it's working. Holland, out of all the other European countries and the U.S., teens have sex much later compared to the other countries. And actually, you are ranked one of the lowest countries as far as teen pregnancy. So clearly,
that's really cool.
There's something to be learned from having a positive, honest, open conversation around sex education. I think one of the biggest fears, especially I've been feeling here in the U.S., is that if we promote sex education earlier, then kids will have sex sooner, and but it's actually kind of showing the reverse. If you equip youth with how to have healthy sex when you're ready, then that's what they're going to wait for,
Yeah, exactly. It's when you know what like if you just know what would happen if you have sex, and if you have sex unsafe or unresponsibly, like whatever you start, I think if you don't know the consequences, you'll start testing them or something. And I just feel that if you give enough information about things that young kids just don't know anything about, then they'll be informed and they don't have to find it out for themselves.
There you have it. So it looks like there's a lot to learn from Holland, and maybe more countries can follow their lead. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Brit!